Welcome everyone, join us today as we deep dive into the life and legacy of Lynsey de Paul, a trailblazing singer, songwriter and composer whose talent and charm captivated audiences in the 1970s and beyond. So let's dive in. Lynsey de Paul, born Lynsey Monckton Rubin on the 11th of June 1948, in Southwark, London, England. Her parents, Meta and Herbert Rubin, a property developer, were Jewish with Dutch, Austrian, and German roots. She had one brother named John. Lynsey studied classical piano and music under a tutor from the Royal Academy of Music. She attended South Hampstead High School and later Hornsey College of Art, now part of Middlesex University. De Paul revealed that she and her brother experienced physical abuse from their father. At 19, she suffered a concussion for 2 days after a violent altercation with him, which led her to move out of her comfortable family home at 21 to a modest two-room flat above an Indian restaurant near her college. Starting out as a commercial artist and album sleeve designer while honing her songwriting skills, Lynsey co-wrote songs, including Taking It Easy, Bring Yourself Back to Me, and EOIO, recorded by Jack Wild. Following these initial successes, Lynsey was signed to ATV Kirshner Music Publishing, located above Peter Robinson's store on Oxford Street. There, she joined a team of professional songwriters, including Barry Blue and Ron Roker. This collaboration led to various songs being recorded by other artists starting in 1971. Renowned for her keyboard skills, knack for writing catchy songs, and sultry looks, Lynsey made her first mark on the UK charts in 1972 as the co-writer, credited as L. Rubin, of the Fortunes hit, Storm in a Teacup. Around the same time, she achieved success in the Netherlands with On the Ride, a top 30 hit by the Continental Uptight Band, and also When You've Gotta Go, an Australian chart hit recorded and released by Solomon King. During this period, Lynsey co-wrote notable songs such as Papa Do, released by Barry Green and charting in France, and Crossword Puzzle, which Irish singer Dana performed on Top of the Pops and Saturday Variety. Crossword Puzzle also reached number 2 on the Bangkok Singles Chart. Both songs later appeared on Lynsey's debut album, Surprise. The B-side to Papa Do, titled Boomerang, was recorded by the Young Generation and performed on their BBC show, with a French version released by Jane and Julie. Geno Washington and the Ram Jam Band also later recorded Boomerang, featuring on their 1998 and 2016 albums. Don Kirshner praised Lynsey in a 1972 Cashbox interview, saying, "We are looking for another Carole King. We think we found her in Lynsey Rubin." Although Lynsey had recorded demo versions of her songs, she was initially hesitant to perform them herself. She wrote Sugar Me for Peter Noone, but her then-boyfriend Dudley Moore suggested she present a demo to Gordon Mills. Mills encouraged her to record it herself and release it on his MAM label. After the Munich Olympics massacre, it was suggested that Lynsey use a less obvious Jewish name. Taking de from her mother's maiden name, de Groot, and Paul from her father's middle name, she became Lynsey de Paul. Released as a single on MAM Records, Sugar Me quickly reached the UK top 10 and topped the charts in the Netherlands, Spain, and Belgium. The song featured a distinctive piano counter-melody, Hammond organ backing, a violin solo, and a unique whip-crack sound. This marked the beginning of Lynsey's prominence in the British charts and on TV over the next 5 years. Her follow-up single to Sugar Me, Getting a Drag, reached the UK top 20 and was a hit in Germany. She appeared on the first episode of the German music show Musikladen in December 1972, performing her hits Sugar Me, and Getting a Drag, and later Dr. Doctor, from her debut album. Lynsey was named the Best Female Artist of 1972 by Record Mirror, Female Performer of the Year by Radio Luxembourg, and the third best female singer in the 1973 NME Music Poll. In March 1973, Lynsey's debut album, Surprise, was released on the MAM label. She wrote or co-wrote all the songs and produced the entire album. Despite initial setbacks with the single, All Night, Lynsey returned to the UK top 20 with Won't Somebody Dance With Me, which also gained popularity in Ireland and the Netherlands. She fought to get this single released, earning her an Ivor Novello Award, making her the first woman to receive it. The BBC's Ed Stewart contributed a spoken line in the song, which de Paul performed on Top of the Pops. Lynsey recorded backing vocals for Mott the Hoople's Roll Away the Stone, and Alice, and suggested the stage name Ariel Bender for guitarist Luther Grosvenor. She provided backing vocals for Wizard's top 10 hit, Rock and Roll Winter. In 1974, she was voted top female singer in the Disc Readers Awards poll. Lynsey released Ooh I Do, which charted in the UK, Belgium, Netherlands, Brazil, and Japan, and co-wrote the TV theme Pilger, for journalist John Pilger's documentary series. Another theme song, Golden Day, co-written with Barry Blue and performed by Rain featuring Stephanie de Sykes, was used for the TV game show The Golden Shot. In 1974, Lynsey won her second Ivor Novello Award for No Honestly, which also served as the theme for the ITV comedy of the same name and became another UK top 10 hit. The B-side, Central Park Arrest, was previously a top 30 hit for Thunder Thighs. Her success continued with Won't Somebody Dance With Me, which earned her the first Ivor Novello Award for a woman. In 1975, Lynsey released her second album, Taste Me. Don't Waste Me, her favorite work. She continued charting hits, including My Man and Me, and wrote for other artists, producing 14 UK chart hits between 1972 and 1977. She also released the duet Happy Christmas to You From Me, with Barry Blue. Her third album, Love Bomb, came out in 1975, with the title track and Sugar Shuffle as singles. In 1976, she received the Variety Club of Great Britain's Woman of the Year Award for Music. Despite management issues with Don Arden, leading to the shelving of her fourth album, Lynsey recorded Because, for the film All This and World War II, which charted internationally. She co-wrote Don't You Remember When, for Dame Vera Lynn and performed on the BBC series A Divorce, while continuing to appear on high-profile TV shows and events, including playing Christmas carols with Elton John for Prince Charles. Rock Bottom, co-written by Lynsey and Mike Moran, was chosen as the UK's entry for the Eurovision Song Contest in 1977 and released by Polydor. Lynsey made history as the first woman to perform her own composition at Eurovision. Despite being a favourite, the song finished second and became a top 20 hit in multiple European countries, topping charts in Switzerland. This experience led to an offer to run as a Liberal parliamentary candidate and helped her navigate legal issues preventing her from signing with a new label. That year, she also joined the Council of the Songwriters Guild of Great Britain. Lynsey and Moran continued collaborating, creating hits like Let Your Body Go Downtown, for the Martin Ford Orchestra, which reached the UK Top 40. Bruce Johnston of the Beach Boys and Lena Zavaroni both covered her song Won't Somebody Dance With Me, which was featured in the film The Big Sleep, and performed on The Muppet Show, and the new Mickey Mouse Club. In 1977, Lynsey released the single You Give Me Those Feelings, and composed themes for TV shows like The Rag Trade, and High Summer. Her songs appeared in several films, including The Big Sleep, and The Long Good Friday. Her 1979 album, Tigers and Fireflies, produced by Rupert Holmes, included the single Hollywood Romance, and Tigers and Fireflies. The album featured a variety of styles, including a bluesy version of her hit My Man and Me, showcasing Lynsey's versatility as a songwriter and performer. In January 1991, Lynsey was elected to BASCA's council alongside Midge Ure and Justin Hayward. She served as the only woman on the judging panel for the UK's 1992 Song for Europe entry. In 1992, she released a self-defense video for women titled Taking Control, where she starred as presenter and demonstrated techniques, also co-writing and producing its theme song with Ian Lynn. The video received endorsement from Brian Mackenzie, Baron Mackenzie of Framwellgate, and led to a Royal Television Society award-winning documentary titled Eve Fights Back. A book based on the program, co-written with Claire McCormick, titled Taking Control, Basic Mental and Physical Self-Defense for Women, was published in 1993. Lynsey's compilation album Lynsey Sings was recognized in 1994 as one of the top 50 glam rock era albums by Rock Compact Disc magazine. She returned musically with her 1994 album Just a Little Time, featuring new recordings of her classics and new songs. She released the single, There's No Place Like London in 1994, a charity record featuring numerous celebrities. In 1995, she co-wrote the children's album How Do You Do, I'm Marcus, with Ian Lynn for Eurotunnel, which included performances under the pseudonym Michelle and Mola. Lynsey signed with Leosong in 1995, and her song Take Back Your Heartache was recorded by Gerard Kenny. In 1996, Julianne Regan's band Mice released Martian Man, a song originally written by Lynsey. The following year, Indonesian singer Yana Julio covered Lynsey's All I Am on her album Ku Cinta. In 1998, de Paul created and hosted the TV series Women of Substance, featuring guests like Judy Finnegan and Diana Moran. She was also featured on the cover of Saga magazine in 1999, discussing her career, relationships, and advocacy for women's self-defense. She served as a judge for the Sony Radio Awards in the same year. In 2000, Lynsey attended the launch of Support for Africa 2000, a charity for HIV, AIDS and malaria relief, at the Nigerian Embassy in London. The event featured guests like Princess Katerina of Yugoslavia and tenor Russell Watson. Lynsey supported the charity and participated in its events. In 2002, she attended Cosmopolitan's 30th anniversary. Her song Dancing on a Saturday Night was featured in the 2002 film Anita and Me, and in the TV program Monkey Dust, in 2003. In 2005, Lynsey received a Gold Badge Award from BASCA for her contributions to the music industry. She joined the Performing Rights Society (PRS) board in 2006 and was re-elected for a second term in 2009. She was also a trustee of the Members Benevolent Fund. As a trained artist and cartoonist, Lynsey created the Light Entertainment series for OK Magazine in 2006 and the Woman to Woman series for Chic Magazine. She also appeared on a 2006 BBC Radio 2 episode of Sold on Song, discussing classic songs with Gamble and Huff, and other notable musicians. In 2007, Lynsey briefly returned to acting, playing Sheila Larson in the first episode of Stephen Fry's drama series Kingdom. She also appeared on BBC Breakfast discussing her friend Ronnie Hazelhurst's work, including his iconic conducting at the 1977 Eurovision Song Contest. On 10 April 2008, Lynsey participated in a celebrity version of Channel 4's Come Dine With Me, where she was the only vegetarian and finished last. She was featured in a celebrity edition of Cash in the Attic in March 2009, serving as a temporary auctioneer. In 2008, Lynsey's song Words Don't Mean a Thing was included in the digital album Songs from the British Academy, Volume 1, alongside tracks by Boy George, Peter Gabriel, KT Tunstall, and others. In 2009, Lynsey wrote the foreword for the book Medium Rare, about the spiritual medium Liam Scott. She also participated in an article celebrating the 60th anniversary of the single Choosing, Dion and the Belmonts' song Love Came to Me, for its emotional significance. In 2011, she hosted her own show on Sky, Lynsey's Love Songs, where she selected and researched her favorite tracks. She also joined Vintage TV, interviewing songwriters Gilbert O'Sullivan, Mike Batt, and Howard Jones in early 2012. Lynsey appeared on BBC Radio 2's Good Morning Sunday with Aled Jones on 29 April 2012, discussing her life, career, and inspirations. She attended the Ivor Novello Awards on 17 May 2012 and served as a UK jury member for the Eurovision Song Contest that year. On 31 May, she was featured in the BBC Radio 2 documentary The Radio Luxembourg Story. On 15 September 2012, Lynsey co-hosted the Mark Bolan 35th anniversary charity concert at the O2 Shepherd's Bush Empire with Noddy Holder, featuring artists like Mark Armand, Boy George, and Steve Harley. Both de Paul and Holder, along with the performers, received positive reviews. A week later, she starred as Hedda Hopper in the play Hollywood Love, with Jeff Stewart. From 2013 until her death, Lynsey regularly reviewed newspapers on BBC Radio London 94.9 FM's Simon Lederman Show. In March 2013, 2 double CD anthologies of her 1970s songs, Sugar and Beyond, and Into My Music, were released, which she personally oversaw. That month, she appeared on BBC Radio 2's Tracks of My Years, selecting her favourite songs. In March 2014, she attended the PRS for Music event 100 Years of Music, alongside other UK songwriters. One of her last public appearances was as a trustee at the unveiling of the Spike Milligan statue in September 2014. In 2015, PRS for Music established the annual Lynsey de Paul Prize for Emerging Female Singer-Songwriters. The inaugural winner was Emma McGrath, followed by Elsa Hewitt in 2016 and Jamio in 2017. The 2018 top bursary winner was Amala, who later received a Rising Star Award from Apple Music. In March 2018, Lynsey was named one of the 65 most influential women in UK music by Women's Music News. Her song Sugar Shuffle was featured on the album 76 in the Shade, which reached number 23 on the Dutch charts in August 2020. Personally, at just barely 5 feet tall, Lynsey de Paul never married but had romantic relationships with notable figures including Dudley Moore, Chas Chandler, Roy Wood, Ringo Starr, James Coburn, Bill Kenwright, Dodie Fayed, George Best, Bernie Taupin, and David Frost. She received 5 marriage proposals, one each from Chandler and Coburn. Lynsey had an affair with Sean Connery, which she later regretted after discovering his comments condoning violence against women. This, along with her upbringing with a violent father, motivated her to campaign against domestic violence. George Best described her as fiercely independent in his autobiography. Prince Charles was also quite taken with Lynsey. They met at a charity dinner at the Ritz in Piccadilly. James Whittaker, in his book Settling Down, wrote, "Fellow guests that night were entranced as the prince grew increasingly friendly towards Lynsey, clearly bowled over by the diminutive singer's looks and bubbly personality. In a 1977 interview, Lynsey stated, "I guess I'll never get married. My first love will always be music." At the end of the 1990s until the end of 2001, Lynsey put her career on hold to care for her ailing mother, who was the company secretary for Lynsey de Paul Music Limited until her death. When Lynsey passed away in 2014, her brother John, a consultant surveyor, became the sole director of her music company. Politically, de Paul was known as a Conservative Party supporter and performed a jingle she composed at the 1983 Conservative Conference. Earlier in her career, she had been more associated with the Liberal Party. Sadly, on the 1st of October 2014, Lynsey de Paul suffered a brain hemorrhage, after recently complaining of severe headaches, at her home in Mill Hill. She was pronounced dead later that day at Barnet General Hospital. Her niece, Olivia Rubin, described her death as completely unexpected, noting that Lynsey was a vegetarian who didn't smoke or drink. Esther Ranson, a broadcaster and friend for whom de Paul had written the theme for Hearts of Gold, said, "She was a Renaissance woman. She could do everything, sing, compose, and was an immensely talented artist. She became a huge star but was also a loyal and generous friend. It's an absolutely tragic loss." De Paul was interred with a humanist funeral at Hendon Cemetery. And there you have it. Thank you for joining us in celebrating the life and achievements of Lynsey de Paul. Her remarkable career, filled with unforgettable music and pioneering spirit, continues to inspire artists and fans alike. Though she is no longer with us, her legacy endures through her timeless songs and the barriers she broke for women in the music industry. Like and subscribe for more stories of influential artists who have shaped the world of music. Take care and bye for now.